this morning. Joining us live from Bali, we have Rahmi Fajar Harini. Good morning, Mbak Rahmi. Hi. Oh, there
Hi,
she is.
good morning, all.
Good. Hi.
Hey.
Thank you for joining us this morning. So we've been talking about the plan that Bali will have the ecotourism. What is ecotourism, first of all, and what are the differences from regular tourism?
Okay, thank you all for having us. So yeah, what is ecotourism? By definition, ecotourism is about uniting the conservation of our environment and have the social impact on the local economy. So I think the difference is the purpose. If we're talking about the conventional tourism, is about travel. So one place to another place, but with the ecotourism, I think it's about the purpose on why you're doing traveling. What do you want to gain from your traveling? As a tourist, now we talk about ecotourism is about contribution, preservation, conservation, and how the local can have an impact or giving back to the community. I think that is the difference.
Right.
Oh,
right.
nice.
Now, you did say something about the locals. I'm really curious here, Rahmi. So obviously there's, everything that changes, there's always a turnout to it or a hard thing or an obstacle, right? So obviously by having this so-called ecotourism movement and introducing this kind of movement to the locals, so that they can actually follow all the rules and they play along with it. And I'm sure it's not that easy just to speak, right? So how did the locals react to this, and what was the preparation behind the business from just general business and then moving it towards to the ecotourism?
If we're talking about locals here of Balinese, because we're talking ecotourism Bali, that actually Bali has Trihita Karana. So it's about the balance between God, people, and then the nature. So it's actually already embedded through the Balinese itself, because this is become a common sense for them. But when we're talking about tourism, it's about supply and demand. There were shifts before the pandemic that so many people coming to Bali, it become like almost over tourism. And then that has an impact because there's a demand. People just become doing shortcut, and then they don't think about that aspect anymore because the demand is quite high. But the pandemic really gave us a lot of lesson that we need to focus and balance the imbalance that happened before the pandemic. And we are the ecotourism, we just want to amplify what is already in there. The Trihita Karana, and actually there are so many regulation made before the COVID. Bali is one of the pioneer of the plastic.
Of course.
And then there's also roadmap for making Bali as one of the preferred sustainable tourism destination by regional, and then by 2030 as the preferred sustainable tourism in the world. So we want to amplify that messages that's already there, and then remind people again that this has to go to back to the balance. And what we do is we formulate sustainable criteria for small-scale hotels and restaurants that we summarize from the international available certification that be fit for Indonesia or Bali specifically.
Oh, nice.
So there are 30 criteria. There are 30. So it's been a year of work. Ecotourism Bali and sustainable R&D lab in Bali. To able to compose this criteria and component, so then hotels and restaurants able to access it will be in our platform.
Right.
So it's a self-assessment tool, and we focus on 90% of environment because I think that is the importance for this post-pandemic. And then 10% the focus of the questionnaire is about the social impact.
Right.
Because the challenge is back then is the economy is good, but it doesn't go back to the community.
Right.
The local doesn't have the maximum absorption of the economy that come to Bali.
Oh, okay.
So that also what is the focus of the recovery. So small medium enterprise we support, and then all these startup we need to create the supply and demand balance, and it has to come back to the community.
Of course,
Nice.
indeed. Now, Marami, correct me if I'm wrong, but as you were mentioning, you did say that this so-called eco system is, you and your team are aiming for the small hotels first. You did say that, right? Now, my question is,
Correct.
why is it with the small hotels? I mean, we know that in Bali itself, you have, you know,
We have so many luxurious,
luxurious hotels, big
resorts.
hotels.
Yeah.
Why not just aiming straight away to the big hotels?
Yeah. So we're talking about an impact.
Right.
The big corporation we're talking about the big one is the international chain hotel.
Yeah.
They usually cannot make a decision on the spot. Their decision is based on the corporation. And the corporation decide on the certification. And usually this is the international scale.
Yeah.
So for us, we aim from the grassroots up because
Nice.
those are the one that make changes.
Yeah.
Right.
True.
The one international is top to bottom.
Yeah.
Right, yes.
What we need is this grassroots movement.
Right.
All right.
So we're talking not about hotel, it's about accommodation. So villas and also all kinds of actually accommodation that is non-international chain.
All right. So basically, the aim is like bringing the Bali back to root by the belief of the people itself, from the locals, and they share it to the guests or the visitors who want to come to Bali, specifically after the pandemic. So people will actually, the visitors will have a different experience to visit Bali and will like to come more and come back again because, well, with the system of ecosystem,
It's one of the
ecotourism,
attraction.
exactly, interaction, we will have another experience, of course. And, you know, Rahma, you are probably noticed since the pandemic, we are shifting.
Right.
We are more like close to nature. We love something that very simple, and we would like to live like we would like to live
A genuine life.
feel like close to home.
Of course.
And it reminds me every time when I go to Bali, it reminds me, oh, this is my home. I come back home, you know. So we know that you probably facing so many challenges, Mbak Rahmi, with the minister as well. What kind of challenges, what kind of the most challenged thing that you guys are facing to continuing this movement so it becomes sustainable?
Okay. The main problem is information, access of information, and of course finance. Everybody has difficulties in finance, but we're not going to focus on that. Information, because we aim for the quantity of people that understand on how to do sustainability practice in tourism. Access is the most important and challenge because when the pandemic, there's so many people got laid off from their office or their work because tourism still centralized in one of the area in Bali. But the people that are doing it, they go back to their village that is scattered throughout Bali. So north, east, west.
Yeah.
Even go to the other island, Nusa Penida or and how to build this, how to rebuild that they can go back. And the other place of Bali has also nice offer, especially the nature where we're talking about activities because those are in demand now.
Yeah.
The tourists now want to see the real Bali.
Yeah.
So how they can sustain in their area without necessarily have to go centralized again in the one area.
Oh.
So they can establish. So let's say before the pandemic, the family is a seaweed farmer, and then the kids go to work in the south of Bali. And then it dropped. Then they only know that okay, we wait for the money from the kids in the south. But through pandemic, they go back on farming.
Yeah.
So how these farmers can sustain and offer this as activity because there are demand now.
Right.
Oh, okay.
So they can rebuild their economy back and stay
Yeah.
at the family without necessarily shifting to the usual conduct before the pandemic.
Nice.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
So
we got it.
we are aiming to support and then give access and at the end advocacy for them that those are able, those are in demand, and keep that so the economy stay in the community.
Cool.
go, of
Right.
Besides that, they're also like how to conduct the waste management and then
Yeah.
how to preserve the biodiversity,
Yeah,
how
true.
to conservation. So there's so many aspect of conduct, but it could be an angle for them to sustain
Okay.
and to offer what's so-called ecotourism.
Oh, wow. Okay, so great. I remember I went to Bali earlier this year. I'm not going to the central or the most popular spot in Bali like Seminyak Canggu or everything. I went to Karangasem.
Right.
I went to Karangasem. I explored these areas. I went up. There's a hill. It's called a hill. It's like a retreat villas owned by a local Balinese from Karangasem. He used to work in a luxurious hotel, international chain one, and he run his hotel, his own hotel, but he make it like for retreat program. We had yoga. We had like we can have a spa there, but we can do it in our villas, and it's very nice. And the concept of the restaurant is from farm to table because we have to from farm to table because they farm they have like a small area the farm exactly, and then they cook it for ourselves, so all the guests, so we can feel the different experience.
Yeah.
I would love to repeat that, and we can share it through our social media. It can help to be more sustainable, right?
After this, you should tell me more about that. But I like the idea.
We need more of you guys.
Yeah.
We need more of you.
I like the idea of,
Amplify this across.
of course. Now, the idea of, as we may say, it's not just like, putting an egg into one basket, right?
Yeah.
So you have to put your eggs in different baskets.
Right.
So if something happens, such as the pandemic, if you're not fluent again in that specific field, you can obviously do another field to make it for a living itself.
Sure.
So a great idea, Rahmi. So we want to know more about this on World Tourism Day. Now, our very own Minister Sandiaga Uno said that Bali is at the forefront of the tourism transformation here in Indonesia. Now, we want to know why. Why is it always Bali? As we know that, if there's any meetings, if there's any international gathering, Bali is always the aim. The first aim for people to actually join. Now, how is the future of ecotourism, not just in Bali, but also in all over Indonesia, in your point of view, Rahmi?
Okay, so why Bali? I think it's quite obvious. It is a good pilot project for if we're talking about tourism because Bali is the eye of the world of Indonesia. So if I see ecotourism could be duplicate, possible. It's so possible. It is we just done our research this past year, and then we haven't launched, but we have several kind of already strategic meeting with a strategic partner. So in December 9th, we're gonna launch ourselves ecotourism, and then our verification system. And then we are open. We already talked about to do this also in the other island or more to the west or more to the east. It's possible because we have the system, we have the tools, and we launch it first, and then see and assess and monitor it, and then if it's possible to do it on the other end, we are more than happy to hold hands and then to do this, make it a bigger impact, especially for Indonesia.
But how, if I may ask you, how optimistic, are you and your team for the ecosystem project or the upcoming project which is related?
Oh, very positive.
Yes.
I'm a positive person, but as far as we conduct our research, we talk about our respondent and also to the stakeholder. There are demand, and then it's shifting. It's worldwide movement, and 2 out of 3 demand of this kind of movement. They want to see more. So the demand is there. So how we provide it, how we say to the world or to potential member that we exist. This is already a tools and system. You just need to do it. What do you need? Information? Yes. Financing? We connect you with the investor or angel investor. We even have a startup page that meet the startup ideas for solution to do sustainable tourism and the angel investor.
Nice.
So we just need to talk and then meet more and then discuss about this, and it's just about shake hand and then we do the same mission.
I agree.
You did mention about funding, Shafira. She mentioned about funding, right? Regarding funding, money. If you have money, obviously you can expand, the idea or of the organization itself. Let's talk about money here, Rahmi, if we may, right? So, are you really happy about the investors that you have right now? Is it, you're already listed as, so everything, all the money is actually there. We are proud of the money, or you need more fundings for the upcoming events?
I think it's more about, I don't really see finances about only funding, but the possibility on how we can make our network even deeper on the possibilities to grow.
Right.
So to grow this, it's not about, okay, we fund. There's always partnership and collaboration. And if we do the same mission, if we work gotong royong, because there's so many already also movement that have the same mission, and they have their budget, we have our budget, we do it together, we amplify the crowd, we amplify the message, and it should be doable.
Yes.
So that means the money is there.
I'm happy.
So the money, you're happy with the money.
The ideas is there.
Yeah. They just need to do it.
The movement is there. The needs are already there. So
basically we have all the resources.
We do things without the money.
Exactly.
Yes.
So we have all the resources.
It's the resources.
Exactly. We all have the resources, and even we can actually do this, Rahma, using our social media platform. We can use technology. We can share about the movement, especially what the minister, especially in tourism, works for Indonesian tourism to bring back more visitors and to introducing more Indonesia, not just Bali, but any other parts of Indonesia is beautiful and very, very accommodative. Of course, we have this concept and we can do this together.
Positive people.
Yes, thank you so much.
Positive vibes.
Rahmi, thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for such a great talk. All the best, and cannot wait to see another project event from Minister of Tourism. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rahmi.